Hey, this is Steve, the coach of the Waterloo Wormadams. Just going to be talking about the draft, go over my picks, everybody else's picks, what my original strategy was, how it changed throughout. So one of the coaches made this nice little draft board here, filled it out as it was going. I think they were using it to track picks. So my original strategy, my top two that I wanted, number one was Togekiss, and number two was Indeedee Female. As we see here, Togekiss went first, not terribly surprising, and then Indeedee Female went number 11, or sorry, number 9. I was picked number 11, so that was a little annoying. I had to switch up my strategy basically immediately. So I had this list that I made of Gmaxes in priority, and also my highest priority Tier 1 Pokemon. This right here was originally what my plan was after those picks. So I wanted Gmax Cinderace. Cinderace obviously very strong in Gmax or in regular form, one of the best in the format. So that seemed like a good pick. And it was just Indeedee Male that was chosen before me, so I had a pretty good chance that I was going to get it. That's just a staple of the team. I don't think there would ever be a game where I don't bring it. And then after that, I wasn't really concerned about filling out a team with Cinderace because it's going to work in any team, right? I don't need specific partners for it. You're probably not going to have weakness policy on it because it's somewhat frail. I did want a follow me user, but I also wanted to do some combos. Venusaur and Primarina were my ideal combos, just so I could set up Swamp or the Rainbow Effect, or what's the other one? Lava, I guess, with the Fire, Grass, and Water pledges. Venusaur Primarina would be the main option there, so I could get a Swamp going, cut the speed on the other side to a quarter, which is actually a really good effect. So as we kept going into the draft, Amoonguss, Torkoal, Incineroar, Tyranitar, Ninetales, and there goes the Venusaur. So Venusaur was gone. Already I knew that I couldn't get my Swamp off. So did I really want Primarina anymore? Kinda. It's still really good. However, nobody except for this Indeedee Male had a Trick Room option yet. So, as we kept going, Corviknight Gmax, Charizard Gmax, Dracovish, Porygon 2 was my next pick. I think Porygon 2 is better than Dusclops. They're both incredibly good users of Trick Room. Both really good users of Eviolite. They're both incredibly tanky. The one thing Porygon 2 has going over it is the fact that it has Recover. And Download is also a really good ability, half the time. But Recover is a reliable way to heal, whereas Pain Split, eventually, you're probably just going to die. If you can't time it well enough with the Trick Room turns, you're going to run out of health and you won't be able to Nightshade to win. So, I grabbed Porygon 2 to start my Trick Room mode, and you can see the rest of my thoughts for Tier 1s. If I was able to get Venusaur Primarina, I would have drafted 3 Tier 1s with my free slots. But Clefairy was now my next big option, so I could have some redirection. I thought that was important. Amoonguss was gone, Togekiss was gone, so Clefairy I thought was the next best thing. And Togetic got taken before Clefairy, and then there's the Dusclops. PZ was also one of my next big picks. Butterfree, Redirection. There goes the Primarina, so I can't get Primarina. Terrakion, Gudra, Klefki, Blastoise. There goes the Clefairy. Where was my next pick? What color am I on here? Green? Yeah, so that's like 6 picks before me. So at that point, that switched up my strategy again. I had a separate list here of tier 2s, which I've gotten rid of since. In that list, at the top of it was Lipard and Meowstic Male. I wanted something with Prankster just to mess up the opponents. I went for Lipard over Meowstic Male, and right now I kind of forget why. It is faster, so I can beat other Prankster Pokemon with the exception of Whimsicott, which obviously went number 7. So I think I picked it because it was the fastest Prankster user. The positive side of Meowstic Male is that he's the only Prankster with Skill Swap. So that's a good pair with Amoonguss, so you can get turn 1 Spores every time without having to set up Trick Room. And then just switch Meowstic out, switch it back in later, and it has Prankster again. You can throw out some Thunder Waves or some Yawns. But with Lipard, I get Fake Out, I get Taunt, Thunder Wave, Yawn, Foul Play is really good. Trick. I think Meowstic also gets Trick, but there's a lot of goofy stuff I can do with Lipard. Reset the weather. I don't have a weather mode, but I do have good anti-weather. So after I got Lipard, I thought, I got a good combo here, Lipard Cinderace. I can fake out something, or Thunder Wave stuff, make sure Cinderace goes unchecked, even if there's a Tailwind or something. So I thought, let's get some Trick Room mode. So my Trick Room sweepers that I wanted were, again, I moved around my lists, but I was looking mainly at tier 2, because right now I figured I'm going to take 3 tier 2s instead of tier 1, 2, 3, 4 was my original plan. And I was after whoever had 15th pick Tyranitar Excadrill. I was thinking, if I get Hippowdon as my Trick Room sweeper, and I lead Porygon to Hippowdon against this guy, get up Trick Room, Hippowdon is just going to destroy that guy's team. However, that was the only sand team. I had Lipard, I didn't have anything to reliably set up sand, so that didn't really make a lot of sense against the other 15 teams in the league. So I changed my mind, I picked up Dhelmise. Dhelmise is very powerful in Trick Room, good typing in Grass and Ghost, good ability that boosts Steel-type moves, has the same type attack bonus to Steel-type moves, in case I ever need it. Good switch in from Porygon 2 if they're using a fighting move, just switch in Dhelmise. It has a good support move pool too. I think it gets Will-O-Wisp. But yeah, all around good Trick Room sweeper. And I don't think I was considering anything that got picked between now and then. Escavalier was definitely on my Trick Room sweeper list, but I had him below Dhelmise and Hippowdon. Reuniclus was on my list too. That got picked up. Weezing Galar, Pincurchin was on my list. I wanted something to override the terrain. Both the Indeedis were taken. Rillaboom and Rillaboom G-Max. Yep, there he is. Were taken. Weezing Galar, I guess, to set Misty Terrain, but then you're just wasting a good Pokemon for terrain. So all the terrain options are gone. Not the biggest deal, but everything else here I was not considering. Clefable for Follow Me, but I don't know, that's suspect. It's not very good. As we keep going... Yep, I had not considered anything that was taken between Pincurchin and my next poke, which was Vikavolt. Vikavolt, again, a good Trick Room sweeper, has Levitate, so it's only weak to fire moves, I believe. I think it has the highest special attack in the format. And good stabs and bug buzz, thunderbolt, and then it has an incredible move pool as well. So +1 or 2. You can get mud shot for. Oh, he's weak to rock too. Yeah. Mud shot for the rock types or the fire types, as well as raising special defense. You slap an assault vest on him, or you go protect. Maybe even room service to go slower in Trick Room than like in a Scavalier. Although I don't know what moves he has to hit in the Scavalier. Just another really good Trick Room sweeper. And Tangrowth was on my list for Rage Powder. I used Tangrowth in my Gen 4 only team, and he super pulls his weight. Sleep Powder, Rage Powder, Protect, and Power Whip is what I ran with Citrus Berry. So, all about prediction. Are they going to attack Tangrowth? Are they going to attack the other one? Rage Powder. And Sleep Powder if they're going to attack the Tangrowth. Citrus heals it up, and then Regenerator, switch out, do it all again. There goes the Meowstic. I wasn't going to take it at this point. I'm surprised it lasted this long. That's a good pick. And then I did decide to go back to a Tier 1 and pick up Urshifu Rapid Strike. Because at this point, I had Fire, Normal, Dark, Electric Bug, Grass Ghost. So, no water types yet. Urshifu Rapid Strike, very powerful. Don't need him in Trick Room, obviously. Fairly fast. If I pair him with maybe Max Airstreams from Cinderace or Liepard faking out, giving some extra turns, or even Liepard Thunder Wave, Urshifu's probably always going to go first. Incredibly powerful with Surging Strikes, Close Combat, Detect, Aqua Jet if I need it. He gets all the Elemental Punches, which is good. All around good Pokemon. Too powerful, I don't think I could pass it up. However, this also means I couldn't get any more Tier 2 picks. Which I was considering Gothorita, just for some Parish Trapping shenanigans. Gastrodon. Had Gastrodon gone yet? I don't think he had. It's definitely picked. Oh yeah, he went way before. Okay, yeah. What else was I considering? Oh, here's my list. Gengar. That was again for Parish Trap shenanigans. So if anything, I was going to pick Gengar and something to make him stay in, like that. Gothorita. Another problem with Gothorita is that I already was using Eviolite, and that'll come in again later. Hitmontop was taken already, Tangrowth, Butterfree, yeah. So most of my Tier 2 options were already taken, so I figured, you know what, going back for the Tier 1, I'm taking Urshifu Rapid Strike with the 86th pick. Like, that seems super value. Dugtrio takes right after another Trapper, obviously really good. There goes the Hippowdon. I think he's probably actually going to use it to set sand, though, which is not what I was intending for it. So, I've taken all my Tier 2s, taken all my Tier 1s, taken my Gmax, so I need to start doing my Tier 3 and 4. So here's my Tier 3 list. Originally, Abomasnow, Excelgor, Decidueye was only there if I got Primarina, but not Venusaur, so I could use the Swamp. Dugtrio for trapping, Lapras for Parish Trapping. Originally, I was considering Mr. Mime Galar. I got rid of that again because I already had an Eviolite user. I guess he could set Trick Room, so I probably still could have made that work. Tangela for Rage Powder, Maractus for Storm Drain, and Marowak Normal for the Lightning Rod. And then as the rounds went, I added in Steelix as an option. I think I didn't remember to read some of these out, but I reconsidered my tiers, put in Mime Galar, Marowak, Steelix as a sweeper, Wobbuffet as a trapper, and Wigglytuff as the Parish Songer. And where were we? Wait. Oh yeah, Mawile's tier 4. Yeah, so here was my tier 4 priority. Weezing is a hilarious tier 4 Pokemon because of neutralizing gas. I would have taken that in a heartbeat. Delibird really was just to activate Delmai's weakness policy. It also gets Fake Out. I don't think it gets Tailwind. Mawile was there for Intimidate. Rapidash was just for, in case I didn't get Mime Galar, I needed a Psychic type. Would also get the Fairy type. I don't know what I would have done with him. Haunter, again, for Perish Trapping, and Ivysaur if I didn't get Decidueye, or Venusaur and had Primarina to set up swamps. Also has Sleep Powder and other debilitating stuff. So it keeps going. Musharna, there goes the Weezing. So I know I can't take Weezing. So I go back to my list, and I'm thinking, who's more likely to get picked up here? Mr. Mime Galar or Mawile? Mawile gives me better typing with Steel and Fairy, also Intimidate. It's got Sheer Force if I ever want to use it offensively. Sucker Punch for more weakness policy stuff. And I do end up taking Mawile. And then there goes the Gengar, very late pick, that's pretty good. Thwacky for the terrain would have been a consideration. And then I do end up taking Steelix as my another Trick Room sweeper. Also can just be a defensive tank if there's ever a team that is lacking a fire or a water type or any special attackers. So at that point I have Cinderace, Porygon 2, Liepard, Vikavolt, Steelix, Mawile, Delmise, Urshifu, Rapid Strike. So I know I have 2 tier 4 picks and 1 tier 3 pick. And what am I missing? So at that point, I'm missing a poison type. This was another goal of mine, is to get one thing of every type. So I was missing a poison type, flying type, rock, psychic, ice, dragon. And that brought me back to Mr. Mime Galar. And then this is where I came to the realization, wait, I already have Porygon 2. I can't take Mr. Mime Galar because I can't use him with Eviolite. I could use him with Focus Sash, but typically that's what I'm going to want on Liepard. And if I'm just putting a Focus Sash on him anyway, why not just take Mr. Rhyme? He is faster, but he has lower special attack. So Mr. Rhyme would actually offer me more. They both get Ice Shard again to hit Delmise, get a weakness policy up. Or even I could do some shenanigans with like Scorching Earth or Scorching Sand Cinderace, weakness policy that. But that's pretty weird. Back to the draft. Tentacruel's a good pick. I was considering Galarian Lanoon, but again, I have Porygon 2. And there goes the Maractus. I really like Maractus. And then I pick up Mr. Rhyme, as I said. Can't reuse the Eviolite, or I just can't bring them together, which is not a good plan. So I'm looking at my typing again. I do have a lot of fire weaknesses. Vikavolt, Steelix, Mawile, Delmise, Mr. Rhyme, all weak to fire. Cinderace resists. Urshifu resists. So I thought I'm going to need another thing that resists fire, maybe something that's good against it. In turn, I had a ground and a water type. So this was not to fill out the types, this was just to help against fire types and rock types And Quagsire obviously is only weak to grass. So that's a pretty big bonus. Good ability, Water Absorb, if that ever comes into play, or Unaware. So if you're getting a bunch of max steel spikes off, Quagsire doesn't give a crap. So I get my Quagsire. I think I stole it from somebody too. Somebody said that they wanted the Quagsire. There goes the Ivysaur. Now I wasn't actually going to pick Ivysaur. I was going for Gloom. So the thing about Gloom is that it is slower. Yeah, it's slower. It has 50 base speed. It has more HP, way more special attack, and one of its 2 defenses are higher. One's more physically bulky, the other's more specially bulky. I have used Gloom in the past, just with Eviolite and Sleep Powder. I just don't know when I'm going to be able to bring this with Porygon 2. It's got to be a match where I'm not bringing Porygon 2, which would only be against hard Trick Room teams, of which I'm not sure how many there are. So let's check out all the rosters. I'll give my thoughts on each roster as well. Starting with mine, so I got Gmax, Cinderace, Porygon 2, Liepard, Vikavolt, Steelix, Quagsire, Mawile, Delmise, Urshifu, Mr. Rhyme, and Gloom. And I've given most of my thoughts. Liepard will combo with anything, really. Porygon 2 to set up Trick Room for these guys, even Quagsire, Delmise. Urshifu Rapid Strike is going to come in when he's needed. Mr. Rhyme with Screen Cleaner I haven't brought up. That's a good Lapras counter. Whoever got Lapras, you better prepare for that. The Utah Umbreons, which is my first matchup, I believe. It's got Colossal, Gmax, Rillaboom, Weavile, Gardevoir, Vaporeon, Basculin. Porygon. Did I call that Porygon? Vaporeon, Basculin, Porygon, Cobalion, Drifblim, Shedinja, Cloyster. Shedinja's great. There's so much ally switch shenanigans going on. Prepping for this team is a nightmare. Right, there's the Weavile Colossal, Surf, Weakness Policy stuff. I could set up Trick Room. Colossal cannot kill Porygon 2 with +2, unless there's already Sun Up. So that is an option. And then I would bring in, I don't know, Steelix. Max Quake probably kills Colossal. But if he doesn't Surf, and I use Trick Room, yeah, he doesn't get Weakness Policy, but now he's also slower than the rest of my team. Unless I have Iron Ball or something. Another combo, Weavile, Cobalion obviously, beat up stuff, Drifblim, Rillaboom, Grassy Seed on the Drifblim, make him super fast. Shedinja ally switch is annoying as hell. Porygon can set up Trick Room, he's got a good Eviolite holder there. Cloyster, I don't know. That's his last pick, so. Basculin, I don't know what it does. Vaporeon's tanky. This is a really good team. Seattle Supersonic Booms, which is a sick name, as Gmax Duraludon, Togekiss, Persian Alola, Serena, Musharna, Vulpix Alola, Glaceon. They picked that as a tandem. Primarina, Terrakion, Raboot, and Seeking. I was considering taking a Raboot just for the Cinderace Raboot memes. Gmax Duraludon, I feel like it's never actually going to Gmax this, because the Gmax effect is objectively worse than the normal max effect of lowering attack. Unless you get them with something like lowering the PP on Sucker Punch or something. I don't know. But, I mean, normal Duraludon's really good too. Togekiss, I suspect this guy will bring in every single game. Follow me, or just some Crit Kiss shenanigans. Persian Alola's really good, especially since he's got Terrakion, so he's got beat up stuff. Really tanky with Fur Coat. Taunt, Thunder Wave, I think he gets. I don't know, lots of good stuff. Serena, good to prevent priority, if nothing else. Also hits like a truck. Sharna's good Trick Room option. Set up the Hail for Glaceon. I thought Glaceon got Slush Rush. It does not, it only gets Snow Cloak. So, I don't know, that's not terribly useful for Dynamax, since Dynamax moves don't miss. Primarine is really good. I already talked about it. Raboot. It's bad Cinderace. Seeking is actually pretty important with Lightning Rod. Right, like if I played him, I would have to consider the fact that Vikavolt might not be as good as it would be otherwise. The Phoenix Suns. These guys have a sick logo too. Where's he at? Look at that. That's awesome. So he's got G-Max Rillaboom, Porygon Z, Chandelure, Excelgor. What is that? It's not the regular Excelgor. Rhydon, Magneton, Girder, Palisand, Aromatisse? What that thing is? Druddigon and Gyarados. Gyarados is his last pick, holy crap. Rillaboom's obviously really good. Porygon Z is obviously really good. The problem here is he doesn't have redirection to go with his Porygon Z. Will that actually be a problem? Maybe not. He's also got to bear in mind that this Lightning Rod and Porygon Z have anti-synergy. And he has the problem that I talked about with 3 Eviolite Pokemon. So he's probably not going to bring more than one of these each time. Excelgor Palisand is obviously a good combo, which is completely broken by redirection. Palisand's pretty useless if he doesn't get the water compaction boost plus the weakness policy boost. Gyarados is awesome, good pick. And obviously pair with Rhydon. I suspect he'll bring that a lot. Druddigon is good in Trick Room, which I guess he's setting with Chandelure. Porygon Z could do it. Does Aromatisse get it? If I play this guy, I gotta look up what Aromatisse does. I don't have any idea. Is that even what that is? Yeah, it is. Okay. This is a pretty good team. But Nova Scotia Seekings. This guy's done a ton of trades. I know because he's my second week matchup. So I keep updating his roster as he keeps trading. We got G-Max Gengar, that used to be G-Max Toxtricity. That was the last move that was made before the deadline. Amoonguss, obviously good for Rage Powder and Spore. Escavalier, good Trick Room option. Cottony does not get Tailwind. And I believe it's slower than Liepard. Hitmonlee can do some Unburden stuff. What would he pair with that, though? Unpheasant, I guess. I don't think there's any priority moves that trigger a weakness policy on Hitmonlee. I would have to look into that more. He doesn't have any terrain setters. I guess he could go like Grassy Terrain Cottony plus Grassy Seed Hitmonlee. That would be interesting. But then he's not really doing damage. Kadabra, Trick Room or Anti-Trick Room. Unpheasant has Tailwind probably. Super Luck, give him some crits. Dracovish, obviously good. Everybody knows about Dracovish. Vicious Rend. Bot with Choice Scarf or Choice Band. Or you could even use him in Trick Room. Kafagurgus for Trick Room. Maybe some mummy stuff. Frost Lass. I don't know, he doesn't have Hail. So he's got a set Hail to put an Aurora Veil. I don't know what else it does. Taunt, probably. It's pretty fast too. I imagine he would Focus Sash this thing to... I actually don't know. Lantern has both Volt Absorb and a Water Absorb. I imagine most of the time you would run Volt Absorb. Because who's using a water attack on that Lantern? But it's super tanky. You can get into an endgame with Lantern where you just win because there's nothing that can hit it. And you have like leftovers, Substitute, Aqua Ring or something. Kind of like how you'd play an Araquanid, but without the electric weakness. So it's only weak to ground and grass, I think. Yeah, this team, I mean, any team with a Moongus is good. Scavalier, good Trick Room option. Lots of good Trick Room. G-Max Gengar. Nothing here learns Perish Song, so that's not a worry. Gengar's just better than Toxtricity normally. You might want to use a foot. Yeah, that's a good team. The Ninetales, G-Max Appleton, Tyranitar, Reuniclus, Sigilif, Arctovish, Hitmonchan, Drifloon, Excadrill, Mimikyu, Charjabug, and Grookey. Charjabug's cool. That would pair well with Reuniclus or... No, just Reuniclus. Good Trick Room option. Mimikyu can set it up. You like a Mimikyu, Reuniclus, Max Reuniclus, Trick Room, and Shadow Sneak. Actually, maybe just Protect, Trick Room, then Max, Shadow Sneak, switch out into Charjabug, and this thing is doing an impossible amount of damage. The Appleton, I don't know what it does. I think it's got thick fat. It's just tanky. I don't know what the G-Max move does. Tyranitar Excadrill is obviously a really good combo. I think everybody's used it before. Sigilif gets Trick Room, Imprison, Tailwind, Gravity. I don't know if anything on this Drifloon gets Hypnosis. So that could be something. He's got no terrain, so I don't know what he's doing to activate. Drifloon's Unburdened. I think that's the only reason you would take it. Unburdened, Tailwind, Hitmonchan. I guess he just hits hard. Arctovish, I have no clue. Water Ice type. Seems bad. Grookey. Oh, he does have terrain. There you go. Drifloon Grookey. Yeah, so he's got a lot of really good combos. I think you just have to prep for which one he's bringing. Because I think he's almost always bringing T-Tar, Reuniclus, T-Tar Excadrill, or Reuniclus Mimikyu. Grookey, Drifloon, I don't really think you have to worry about unless he's choice banned. London Aces. We got Hatterene and DDF. Obviously a good combo right off the bat. Gigalith, Stoutland, also a good combo. I don't know how powerful Stoutland actually is. Fletchinder. Which one is Fletchinder? Is that the second or the third level? Or the first level? I know somebody picked the other one somewhere. Can't see it right now. No, Fletchling is the first one. Linoon, Galar, Doublade, Gourgeist, Hawlucha, Boltund, Crawdaunt. Can anything set Trick Room here? Oh yeah, Hatterene, obviously dead. So that's the obvious combo. Follow me, Trick Room, Max, just do a shitload of damage. Gigalith, Stelland, also a combo. We got a Tailwind setter. You can do some belly drum stuff with a Eviolite here. Doublade, also Eviolite. Boosts its defense and it still has a huge attack. Gourgeist sights Trick Room. Hawlucha, Unburdened, so it goes super fast. You could get like Psychic Seed. I think the 8th Hawluchas in the WB have that combo. Boltund for Electrify is really good if he had a ground type, which he doesn't. So I don't know what he's using Boltund for. I mean, Electrify can work anyway if you're trying to bait an attack on Gourgeist. You have no electric resists. Except for Gourgeist and Boltund. Yeah, good combos. Good combo. Libertyville, Luxrays. So you got Venusaur with no sun, but you got Klefki to set the sun, obviously. Talonflame, Tailwind. Everybody knows what Talonflame does. Taunt, maybe. Protect. Flare Blitz, Overheat. Brave Bird. Dual Wing Beat for you Whimsicott players. Whoever got that. Luxray's got Intimidate or Guts. Can be a good sweeper. Kling Clang is good in Trick Room. Can also set Trick Room. I think that's his only Trick Room setter. Yep. So that's something to prep for. Dedenne, I do not know what it... oh, wait. Plus minus. You can run those two together. Dracloak. What does Dracloak do? It's just bad Dragapult. I don't think this thing takes a hit, so it's got to be Focus Sashed if he's bringing it. Rotom Wash, really good. Only weak to grass. Does a lot of damage, can do Will-O-Wisp, Nasty Plot. Silvally, you gotta watch out for that either normal band or choice band explosion. He's got the grass starter. It learns Grass Pledge, so if he had a water starter, he could set up the swamp, but he can't. Skarmory, I was thinking about picking. I don't think it gets Tailwind, so I don't know what you're using Skarmory for. It has weak armor, so it can go really fast. Wailord. Water Spout. Super tanky. I don't know, synergy-wise, I think he's always got to bring those three. I don't see a game where he doesn't bring Klefki Venusaur. And play both of them. I think he needs to. The rest are just a collection of strong Pokemon, I think. Like this Valley. Does he have a Ghost type? Yeah, so he could do like a normal Gem Explosion with Dracloak first turn. But if he's leading that, you're probably ready for that, I think. Crocodile Dundee. I think this guy got skipped a few times in the draft, but he said it didn't affect him. G-Max Lapras, obviously good with the Max Resonance. Arcanine, great support. Can also be... Does he have anything with beat up? Dugtrio gets beat up. So he could also do this Justified and do a shitload of damage. Hippowdon, good weather setter. Jolteon does a lot of damage. Good max option with Life Orb. Turtonator, I don't know. A-Drive gets use out of it. I don't think it's any good. Does he have a Trick Room option? Yeah, Bronzor. Which isn't... I mean, the advantage Bronzor has is that it does even less damage with Bulldoze, so he could Trick Room. There, that's a pretty good option. Lampent, I think, also gets Trick Room. I don't know what else it's going to do. Will-O-Wisp, it's got Ally Switch. Clefairy, Follow Me, obviously good. Virizion for the beat up strats, that makes sense. And Ivysaur I talked about with my Gloom. Hamilton Hydreigons, G-Max Grimmsnarl, Cinderace, Comfy, Decidueye, Quillfish, Weezing, Vulpix, Goodra, Clefable, Vileplume, Vespertine. This team's scary. Grimmsnarl with Prankster can set up screens. I think it also gets Fake Out, Thunder Wave, Taunt. Gets fairy attacks. Fairy typing is obviously good to have. He's got two of them though. G-Max Snooze, I think it's just bad. Like, it just sets up Yawn. You can just switch out. I mean, that's not ideal, but it also only works 50% of the time. Like, why doesn't it work 100% of the time like G-Max Hat? Right? This is objectively the better G-Max move. And, like, it's unfair that Grimmsnarl's is way worse. Cinderace I already talked about because I have one. He has the advantage of being able to set Sun. However, my max move does an extra 20 base damage, I think. Unless he's running Blast Burn, which would be wild since it's special. Comfy with Goodra or, anything. Healing moves, it gets Trick Room, Ally Switch, Giga Drain, Drain Kiss. Really great support Pokemon. Decidueye can be strong in the right team. Oh, he does have this Grass Pledge, Fire Pledge option. Quillfish, Swift Swim, or Intimidate. You can cycle in Wheezing, but then you're double weak to Earth or ground moves. But he could cycle in Wheezing for Intimidates repetitively. He can Swift Swim Sweep. It is actually pretty strong. Vulpix to set the sun. For Vileplume, I guess. Also, probably just to override other people's weather options. So if you've got Hippowdon, or there's a Ninetales somewhere, gotta watch out for that. Vulpix. Clefable's got Follow Me. Vileplume's a better Gloom. It's got Chlorophyll that can actually do some damage. And Vespiquen. I guess you can tank with it if you eliminate everything that can kill it. I don't know. It's very tanky. That's the only thing it's got going for it, I think. This team's scary. Halifax, Helping Hands, G-Max, Orbeetle, Ninetales, Sableye, Heliolisk, Tangela, Thwacky. Wait, what? 2 Thwackies? Oh, that's Grookey. Okay, Thwacky, Kingler, Venusaur, and Meowstic Male, Miltank, and Drizzile. Oh, that's interesting. So maybe this guy is going for the swamp. And that's the only reason I think he picked Drizzile, unless he wants Soak. Because he can go Thwacky, Drizzile, or Drizzile, Venusaur, get a swamp up. This is scary. G-Max Gravitas plus Hypnosis. The only issue there is that Ninetales is going before Orbeetle most of the time. Sableye's got Quash. That's the one thing it has over other pranksters. And it can't be faked out. So, definitely got that going for it. Unless you got something with Scrappy like Kangaskhan. Heliolisk, really fast. Has Electro Web, so you can lower speed right away. I have it on my team. Here's something to think about. Heliolisk with a Choice Scarf outspeeds Talonflame. So if Talonflame uses Tailwind and you get an Electro Web off, you outspeed the Talonflame next turn. Do you? No. No, you don't. No, I'm thinking about it wrong. You normally outspeed the partner, whatever the partner is. Tangela's got Rage Powder, Thwacky's got the Grassy Terrain. Kingler, I guess he does a lot of damage. Gravity might help Guillotine. It might not, though. That would be pretty wild. Venusaur's great. He's got the Sun combo, too, so that's obviously good. Meowstic Male, he's got 2 Pranksters. Again, he's got skill swap options here. Who would he pair that with? Maybe even Venusaur, but no, you're just better off with Chlorophyll. The English Espeons, G-Max Blastoise, Dragapult, Butterfree, Espeon, Lickilicky, Mudbray, Manectric, Sylveon, Darmanitan, Maractus, and Piloswine. Mudbray. I don't know what that's for. G-Max Blastoise, the water effect is great. Like, that hits everything on my team, except for Quagsire and Urshifu for passive damage. So, and like, compare it to this team. It hits everything except Drizzile. And who cares about Drizzile? Dragapult's obviously one of the best in the game. He has tons of options. Does he have a beat-up thing? No, he doesn't. But, I mean, you could even just run it with dual screens. Butterfree's got Rage Powder, Sleep Powder, Tailwind, I think. I don't know what else you'd use it for other than those 3. Espeon, I think, is pretty garbage. It gets beat by a Frail Wind, but it does a ton of damage if you can get it fast enough. Licky counters Weather. I don't know what else that would be here for. On Tempo, I guess, if he has something fast with Swagger. Don't know. I think it's just a weather counter. Mudbray, I have no idea. Manectric has Lightning Rod, which would be good to pair with Blastoise and Butterfree. Sylveon, Darmanitan, Sylveon's really good. You could do a quick attack to activate weakness policy. That's probably the main option here, and then it just does a ton of damage with the Hyper Voice. Darmanitan's probably just a Choice Scarf attacker. Maractus has Storm Drain, which you can pair with not Blastoise. I've made that mistake before. I did have a team with Maractus and Blastoise. But you could also Surf. Surf Dragapult Maractus. Boost the special attack. I think you need Trick Room for that to work, but you can set it with Espeon. Piloswine, good Eviolite option. I don't know what Mudbray's doing. The Bearticks. We got Snorlax, G-Max, Indeedee Male, Togetic, Dugtrio, Tentacruel, Fletchling. There's the Fletchling. Flareon, Hatterene, Bisharp, Galvantula, and Luxio. So, good Trick Room options. Got 2 good Trick Room setters. Huh. Yeah, pick which one's going to set Trick Room. He could even just... No. Oh, he said Psychic Terrain. You can't even get faked out. Yeah, that's sick. Snorlax, obviously a good Trick Room sweeper. Togetic for Follow Me. I think you would typically also run Tri-Attack on it with the Serene Grace to get like a 30, maybe even like a 60% chance now. You have to be a 60% chance to do something. Or is it 1.5 times? In which case, 45% chance. Dugtrio traps. You lead wrong, you're just going to die. Tentacruel. Do some Bulldoze shenanigans. Activate a weakness policy. Fletchling for Tailwind. Flareon's got Guts with a Toxic Orb. Could be pretty good under Trick Room. Hat we've talked about. Bisharp. Good on Focus Sash. He's got Defiant as well, which is a good ability. Galvantula can lower speed pretty well. He's got String Shot. He's got Electro Web. So I guess that would be his non-Trick Room option. And Luxio has Intimidate. It's about its only benefit, I think. That's a really good Trick Room team. So this team is one I probably would not bring Porygon team to. Unless I wanted to reset the Trick Room. Because even if you get Tailwind up, I'm only slower than Tentacruel, Dugtrio, Bisharp, and probably Galvantula. Brooklyn Kangas, Urshifu Single Strike, Whimsicott, Jellicent, Rotom Frost, Exeggutor, Kangaskhan, Sandslash, Duraludon, Charizard, Garbodor, and Togepi. So I was talking to this guy during the draft, and he asked what he thought he needed, and we decided he needed a special Trick Room sweeper. So it was either Exeggutor or Alolan Exeggutor were what he was going to pick, and he ended up with Exeggutor, and then he picked Sandslash right after as another Trick Room option, but physical, I believe. Urshifu Single Strike, even if you don't G-Max it, it does incredible damage. Whimsicott, fastest prankster in the game. Does not get Fake Out, but it does get Tailwind, Fake Tears, Charm, all that good stuff. Jellicent is good for Trick Rooming. Also has Water Spout. He has something with healing, which maybe Togepi, Life do, I guess. You can use Will-O-Wisp, Nightshade, Strength Sap is obviously really good. Rotom Frost, probably one of the worst of the Rotoms, and he doesn't have a Hail Setter, so I guess this would be a max candidate. Just has a lot of weaknesses. Exeggutor was this special Trick Room sweeper, can also set Trick Room, or in Chlorophyll, if he's playing the Sun team, like this team. No, you're probably not bringing it there, though, because it's all Fire type. Kangaskhan is the only thing, I think, that can Fake Out Sableye, so that's good against this guy's team. And you can do that gimmicky Fake Out Last Resort stuff. Duraludon is the better version of G-Max Duraludon. This is a great thing to have. Charizard can be paired with Whimsicott, Sunny Day. Oh, there you go. Whimsicott, Sunny Day, you get Charizard and Exeggutor. That's a good combo. Garbodor, I don't know what it does. Togepi, Follow Me is good. And the California Colossals. Got Charizard, Torkoal, obvious combo. Noivern sets up Tailwind, also does damage. Leafeon pairs with Torkoal if you want Chlorophyll Sweeper. Clawitzer. It's got Pincurchin. Yeah, that's like this. This is a good combo. Pincurchin, Raichu, and Clawitzer. Thievul, I'm not sure. It's really fast. Snarl, I guess. Noctowl can be really strong. If you get a nasty plot up on that thing, or even weakness policy, yeah, you could do like anything here. Got Ice Shard? No. But you could like Volt Switch on Noctowl, give him weakness policy while he maxes, and then Noctowl just goes to town. Scrafty. Wow, we got Scrafty too. Intimidate. Fake Out. Man, Scrafty's just really good. Lopunny, you got some klutz shenanigans you can go for. Switcheroo with Lagging Tail, or Choice Scarf, or Flame Orb. Sticky Barb, that would be fun. Lots of ways Lopunny can debilitate the other team. This team's really scary. The last but not least, the Cincinnati Minchinos. We got the G-Max Corviknight, which I believe was his first pick. Or his second pick. Where is it? Yeah, second pick. Which, that's wild. I've never actually even seen a G-Max Corviknight, so picking second is crazy to me. Incineroar is really good. Intimidate, Parting Shot, does a lot of damage. Gastrodon with Storm Drain was one of my top tier Pokemon I wanted to get. Obviously good with Incineroar, because now you can't hit it with water. You can even max it if you want to go high into special attack. Drampa's a Trick Room Sweeper. Can also be a weather counter, because it gets Cloud 9. Salazzle's good Fake Out. Usually like an overheat eject button kind of thing. Emolga is just to switch into electric type attacks. It also spreads Nuzzle. And I think that's about it. Rapidash Galar, I was considering it, but I don't know what it does. And now he's got two fairy types. Weezing Galar is obviously good for neutralizing gas. Tangrowth, Rage Powder, talked about that earlier. Gengar could be used for some Trick Room. Is that his only Trick Room setter? It is. Well, so if he's using Drampa, he's also bringing Gengar. Can also imprison Trick Room. Get Hypnosis stuff. We can just sweep. Cinchino. Anything get boosted by getting hit 5 times? Doesn't have a Mudstail. This has potential. It does a lot of stuff. So there's my thoughts on every team. Scariest teams, I think, not talking about myself, I think the Utah Umbreons. Yeah, even though he's got G-Max, like these 4 are really, like he can bring that to any game, I think. But I think he's kind of stuck in that mode. I think Utah Umbreons are the scariest. Hamilton Hydreigons are also very scary. I think this team is very good as well. English Espeons, and the California Colossals. I think those would be my hardest teams, or the best teams in here. So those are and I faced the Utah Umbreons first. I talked a little bit about that at the beginning. Very hard to prep for. think the only thing I gave away is that Colossal can't kill Porygon 2, which I'm sure he has realized, doing some calculations. Okay. There's my thoughts on my draft and everybody else's teams. Thanks for listening.